Here is a look at your gap and go trades for the week of March 3rd through the 7th. I will go over price targets, have a gap recap from February 24th through the 28th, and update the chart as well. Hi everyone, it's Dow on the Dow. First up is Tsly. We ended the day at $9.67, up 3.31%. This is where we are at resistance. The next level I am looking at will take us to roughly 975, and at 4 standard deviations, roughly 988. To the south side, 963, the middle of the trend and the baseline, and another level of support. Let me change that color. Takes us to roughly 937. Below that, at another level of support and a potential buy-in area, 913, 901, and roughly, let me move this out of the way, 887. That's another buy-in area and a potential support line. Again, all I'm doing is looking at the beginning of the week, Monday through Friday, and right now we are still, it shows, in a downward pattern. Looking left, I've enabled my buy and sell signals, which I don't use for everyday trading. I'm just doing this so that you can see. This is your support line, support line, support line, a potential buy, buy, buy. Of course, we could go even lower, but at some point we will hit the floor and it will bounce. And it did right here. This is your clear sell signal, and we didn't quite get up there, but that's close enough, and it triggered the sell. And if we are here where price is and we get to this line, this is a bounce line. This will also be a bounce line. If we go sideways, you can expect it to bounce off of here. Or if we continue the trend, which is downward, it will follow, price will follow this line because it has to slice through here to get to the bottom or back to the top. And as far as the gaps go, I didn't see anything significant other than this one that I pointed out. We gap down, which means at some point we will go up, and I will take it into this week. Again, I do not know when they're going to close out. We're not in the channel, not in the zone, not even close. Just something to be aware of. When we reverse this pattern and then get back to a level we've been to before, it will close out. And what else do I have? Ignore all the horizontal lines. Those are areas we've been to before, and we started to bleed out. Oh, I did buy some here. Look, I'm down, and I'm not worried about it, but I was trying to buy more, but it never hit a line that I bought when I did try to get price lower. I don't know when I put my order in, but that's just how the dice rolls. Next one, Sofi. We're at 1447, up 2.84%. We are right here. The middle of the trend now takes us to roughly 1450. That will be one level of resistance as well. Oh, let me take this line off. I was thinking of selling at some shares, a lot that I bought if we hit that point, and look, we almost got there and then we started to bleed out. So let me just erase that. But this was a previous middle of the trend line. This was last week's, and we've gone down, not that much, even though it looked scary, but we've clawed our way back. So the next level I'm looking at besides this one will be at 2 standard deviations, 1503, 1529, 1557. To the south side, 1397, 1370, 1344. And those are my previous buy-in lines here. Oh my goodness, we bled through. I should have bought the dip, but I didn't there. I set these ridiculous buy orders that I think could get there, but highly unlikely, just in case the wick gets me, that buy order, but no cigar. I did buy something. I don't remember what it is I bought, though. It wasn't Sofi. And the 1-year price target on Sofi is, oh, we've already met that. So the next one will be $20, and to the downside, $14.43, which we're very close to. that we can definitely hit, because that's your window. -2 and 2 standard deviations all day long. And let TradingView update your lines and the targets, because that is a moving target. Keep that in mind. As far as the gaps go, we have this gap. We gapped up, which means it will fill to the downside, and we did. That opened up on Wednesday. We closed out on Friday, so congrats if you went short, and that closed out at 13.91, no longer in play. We have this gap to the downside, still a threat to our account, but if you like to go short, that is a target, and that target is at 12. Oh, I put 98 and then 99, close enough. Oh my goodness, that started on November 11th and is still in play. Again, this is just a week out that I'm looking at, but on a daily window for Monday, I'm giving you price action for Monday and Monday only. The outer bands could take us there at the end of the week. The end of the week here is 1565. And then that is 1458 roughly. So you can use that to help guide you as well. But if you just look at this every single day, if you like to micromanage your account, then check it every single day, because it's going to be updated. So that's done. That's still in play. And this one closed out last week. This thing was volatile. Touched right there on Wednesday. So we closed to the upside at 1436. And then this gap, again, I just extend this out, and it touched out of the gate on Monday right there, taking us down to roughly 1408. That gap had been in play since Tuesday, January 14th. So congrats, you played the long game thinking it was going to go short, and it paid off. And we've got this gap. Oh, let me delete this, 1408, no longer in play. So if I delete the price label, that means we are done. So what happened here that I forgot to clean this up? This 1450, we gapped up, and that closed to the downside. It closed right there on Wednesday, the 12th of February. Delete that. Forgot to do it previously. Oops. Command Z to reset that. I want this price label to be deleted. So you got to put your cursor on that. So that's done. That looks tidy. And I think, oh, and this baby gap. See, sometimes I really don't like to mark out these tiny baby ones. Yes, it will eventually close, most likely. But they're so tiny, you know, the standard deviations are going to wipe them out anyway. Okay, we touched right there on February 19th. I just never closed it out or cleaned it up. 1622 it took us to. And I think that looks good. We've got a gap up here to 1785, not in the channel, not in the zone, not even close. That one here is at 1607. Got to get there first before we get to the next one. But fortunately, we are in an upward channel finally. Hopefully this week will make up for last week. I lost a lot of money, but in the big picture, it's not a lot of money, even though most people, it will bleed you out. But that's what happened. The market tanked. Trump is doing all these things, but these things are in the short term with Zelensky, hurting us in the stock market, but helping us in the big picture. You have to see the big picture, and we need to stop this war and stop the bleeding. We don't need to pay for this continued war, and we need a ceasefire and just peace. You don't have to like the person, but you can't have peace. All right, let's carry on here. That was Sofi. I digress. There are things happening this week with possibly Trump announcing no taxes on investments and crypto. That would be a huge boon, and the market is already exploding with the crypto market, and I will do a video on that soon. All right, carrying on here. That's done. Let's go to the next one, Intel. I've got to hurry because I have errands to run. 27.37 up 2.77% to the north side. Let's mark this out. Obviously, most people don't do this, but I like to know where my middle of the trend line will be because that is either going to be support or on the way down, another level of resistance. All right, another level of resistance, 24.46. Speaking of, 24.75, 25.03 to the south side. Back at a spot we've been before, 23.33, 23.05, 22.78. The yellow lines are from 2024. The purple lines are going to be for 2025. Now, this gap is extended from earlier, and while it looks like it touched, it did not. So this thing is still a threat to our count to the south side, even though from here to here, it looks like we're going up. But this gap will take us down. And what happened with this gap? This gap that I talked about previously, it looked like it touched right here. It did not, but it did on Tuesday. Congrats if you played that to the downside at 23.60. Delete. Delete. It started at 24.50. So we are done there. Just clean that up. No longer a threat. And why do I have this? What is this? 21.41. Oh, is that my... Let's make this a little bit bigger. Why did I mark out 21.41? Oh, that's because it was this gap. All right, so this gap, roughly, anyway. So we gapped up, oh, not up. Hold on a second, it's hard to see all this. So we gapped down. All right, that means when we fill, it will fill up. There we go. So you can see that. This blue line, this green line, excuse me, is a previous line that I sold some shares. But I didn't mean to mark that. It's this one. And it's really, oops, Command Z. So let me try this one more time. So this closed to the upside right there on Tuesday, February the 11th, and that started at roughly 21.41 delete and closed out at 21.52. So congrats if you played that gap. That's clean now, clean looking. And what about this one? Oh yeah, that's the one I've extended. All right, I think that is it for now. Move this over here. The next one is Rivn. In an upward channel right now, ended the week at 1184, up 2.07%. The middle of the trend and the baseline, and in this case, resistance, is 1189. 1222, 1239, and back to an area we've been before, and then we tanked, 1255. Note, I turned on, again, the buy and sell signals. Your clear buy, buy, sell up here, sell anywhere along this line, or this line. The outliers are signals to sell, take profit. These are signals to buy. That's how you read this chart. I didn't make up the rules. All right, 1184, and I digress. So that one, 1122. So the gap, we've got an opportunity here to the upside, and that, if we slowly go up, could touch on Thursday if we continue our upward trend. Use the outer lines to figure out where we could be headed down the road later on in the week. This gap also opened up, so this is still in play from last week. And And I think ignore all the horizontal lines. Oh, I got to clean up this one. This closed up to 1420, and obviously that was at resistance, a clear sell signal back then, and it touched right here. So that is no longer in play, taking us to roughly 419, and that started on January the 21st, closed out roughly on February 20, what? Oops. Well, let's just say right there, Friday the 14th. So this is done. Delete, delete. Everything else looks good. If you consistently chart the same way you do every single time, like right now, I know I've cleaned up all of these gaps and they're no longer in play because the price label is missing. So that's still in play. Oh, wait, no, I'm saying, why would that be in red? That would be in green if we're on the way up. That's because that one, oh, wait a minute. Hold on. So we gapped up. Okay, so we gapped up, and that's going to fill on the way down. It touched it, and then, look at this. What am I thinking here? It touched, let me move this so you can see. It touched on this line. So that threat is no longer in play. Now that chart makes sense, because that should have been green if it were extended out, and it was red from the previous. See, when you chart the same way, common sense will tell you something's wrong. So that is done. 1257, delete. And that one, because I marked it wrong, that was 1251. We touched right there on February 24th, done. And that started, it was not a big gap. That started in Thursday the 13th. So, all right, I think that's everything that needs to be deleted. Okay, now I feel good about this chart. I'm sure there's something if I take this out to a bigger time frame, but I'm not. Okay, that's Rivn. Boeing, here we go. 174.63, up 0.46%. To the north side, resistance, sell-off area, take profit, 176.36. 177.67, let me pull this, oops, delete. That will take us to roughly 179. To the south side, support, one level of support. Or we could just go sideways before correcting to the upward channel, but we're not there. 171.14, we're back to an area we've been to before, 169.80. Move this out of the way. 168.50, looking left. Your clear buy signal, your clear sell signal, close but no cigar up there. And sell signal, buy signal, because if we're up here and we hit this line, that turns into support. Are there any gaps I'm tracking? Oh, 174.73. What happened here? We gapped up, which means it will fill to the downside. And did we touch? That's no. So could we touch here on Monday? Absolutely. That's within the -2 and 2 standard deviations. So that will be in play until it's not. For Boeing. I think that's it. Oh, and we've got a gap up here, 196.05, not in the channel, not in the zone, not even close. Still going down on the 5. And then we've got this gap at 157 and 149.38 to deal with, but not in the channel just yet. This one is creeping closer though. Maybe, okay, if we continue to bleed out, it's not even showing me the date, so it could be, oh wait, let's reset this so I can see this. Yeah, the other one is not there. All right. Let's go to the next ticker, Unilever. I'm still in this one for my mom. The middle of the trend and the baseline, we're very close to it, roughly 56.65. That is going to be resistance to an area here we've been to before at 56.95. This blue line is a line that I mark out for myself where I might take profit, and I never did. Delete. We're not there again, but inching our way there. 57.11, 57.27 to the south side, 56.33, 56.18, and to an area we've been, 56.03. Looking left, this gap took us down, so then we're going to close to the upside. And did we touch right there? It sure looks like it. Yeah, I'm going to give that a win. So that closed on February 26th, opened up on the 25th, just a one-day gap, but still, if you like to do intraday trading, boom, there you go. Oh wait, not intra, because that's within, like a short swing trade. That's done. And then what about this one? This one actually touched, no it didn't. Right down here, this will take us down to roughly starting at 56.24. Taking us down to 56.09. And then this gap to the upside, oh my goodness, right here, will take us to roughly 59.0203. Oh, did I previously, oops. Did I previously mark that at, why did I mark this? Oh, there was another gap here that closed. I forgot to clean that up. It's dangling up here. So this one touched a long time ago, right here on February 12th. And that one, ooh, look at this, opened up on December 18th of 2024. So congrats if you made money there. It took us out to 59.18, started at 59.03, no longer in service. Delete. Delete. And this one is done also, 59.18. So the next one will be 60.06. It was a gap within a bigger gap, and then obviously lots of other gaps within that gap. As you can see, many gaps to fill. All right, so what happened here? We went up, Oops. See, I've got too many, the buy and sell signals jam up my charting here. So we gapped up. Oh, so this is the week we are in right here. So we're going to have this gap to deal with. Oh, wait a minute. Why? That does not make sense to me. Okay, I'm going to have to clean this part up later and remove all of these indicators. Yeah, I'll update this chart. But right now, for Monday, the prices I gave you, the outer band here, 56.26-ish to roughly back to an area we've been, 56.03. So keep that in mind. We gapped up here, so this will close to the downside at 56.09. And that's done now. That one's done. Okay. That one's done. See, oh, I see what I did. So this gap closed right here. Two gaps closed right here. This gap and then this one. This one took us down to roughly 55.48. This is roughly 55.71. And then this one, wait a second. Oh, it all touched. Okay, that gap is done as well. Okay, here we go. This touched right here. This is why I lined it up. Okay, that makes sense. And then this one is done right here because we gapped down. And we gapped down, so there's a gap up. That's what is missing as I talk this out amongst myself. Now that makes perfect sense, but let me draw the box. See this gap right here? I'm going to turn off the magnet because it'll get wonky. We've got a gap right here. Actually, just a second. I turned the magnet back on. Gosh darn it. Command Z. All right. There we go. So we had a gap to here, and then we gap down. Then we're going to gap to fill to the upside, and that will be this line right here. Oh, now I got to turn off the magnet. That is roughly $59 to the upside. So, wow, because it was such a rug pull here from here on earnings down to here, and that was a fall of roughly 5% in one day, almost 6%. But it closed out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think 6 gaps on that one day, which is great because I don't like to see dangling gaps. But then it created an opportunity to go to the upside. So there you have it. But that is in the big picture, not in the channel yet. This is just basically a retracement to where we have been. There we go. Okay, now that looks better, and now I can rest. Next one, Nike. I'm going to go fast now, okay? Because I bored everyone to tears with the last one. But it's something I have to fix for myself. Okay, 79.43 down 0.74%. 80.30. 80.95. 81.62. And then this line is the middle of the trend. This is taking us back to a spot we've been to before. And that line was created, oh my gosh, how many weeks ago? Look at this. Back on January the 31st. This was the middle of the trend, and you can see where we've fallen. But because now this is the new middle of the trend, which is back to where we've been, I'll just delete that because I don't need things to clog up my chart. I need some things, but not everything. And these are the old middle of the trend. It's not in my way just yet, so I'm leaving it. 77.64, 76.99, and back to an area we've been, 76.30. We've got this gap to deal with to the south side, taking us to 73.16. Not there just yet. About approximately when, roughly, that could get us there at the end of the week if we continue to bleed out. All right, looking left, your sell signal, your clear one and here too, right along this line. The other ones, you know, close enough. And then we've got this gap that will definitely take us down to what? That will take us down to roughly 76.49. This gap here opened up, oops, Command Z. Oh my gosh, look at this, how many weeks I've had to pull this back. This opened up on October 23rd of 2024, and we just closed it on, oh wait, did we close it? No, look at this. It looked like it touched, but it didn't. It is still in play to 81.40. See, look, 80.20 back there. Oh, wait, nope. 81.40. No, it closed. What am I saying? Right here. I need to take this to a daily time frame to see it better, but it closed basically on February 25th. There we go. Done. Delete. Wow, delete. What a nice run. Then we've got this gap to 89.16 and 94.27. And this gap is still in play. This gap is still in play to 73.16. All right, that looks pretty good. Next one, Estee Lauder. 71.91, down 1.45%. 72.70, back to an area we've been, 73.45, 74.16. The middle of the trend is back where we've been before. I'll just mark that out, but previously, oh, that was just last week. We ended up basically in the middle of the trend where we were 1 week ago. There you go. Delete that because it's in my way now. And to the south side, 69.94, 69.19, 68.49, and we have this gap still in play to the downside. And this gap to the upside, that is now an opportunity that just opened up. Okay, resistance, if we're down here, this middle line turns into resistance, and look at that, the sell signal got turned on. And what else? Okay, we've got a gap all the way up to roughly 82.60, still in play. Oops. Those gaps closed. And then we have this gap as well. Next one, Neo. Is that the last one, please? Yes. Okay, here we go with Neo. 463, down 3.34%. The middle of the trend and the baseline now takes us to roughly 483. Ignore that line. And above that, 523, 543, and 563. And you know what? I'm going to delete this one. It's too close. But that line, this line, middle of the trend, I marked out, oh my goodness, back on the week of November 25th of 2024. I'm just going to delete that right now. There. So we've come back to an area we've been. That's just how it works. The market giveth and it taketh. All right. So this is where we are now. To the south side. Back to an area we've been, 443, 423, and roughly 403. This gap will take us to roughly 395. This gap opened up just recently, taking us down to 429. This one is, oh yeah, 395 I said. And this one will take us down to 370. Not in the channel, oops, not in the zone, not even close. Right now we are in an upward channel with Neo. And let me clean up a couple other things I see. That one will take us, that one will close out this week at 479. This one, isn't it fun to play these gaps? I love it. Taking us down to 438. Delete. And it started at 447. Delete. And why is this one here? Oh, let me clean that one up. That's already done. And that touched right there. Taking us down to 437. Delete. What is this? 426. Let me clean up this one. Delete. No longer a threat. Very good. Okay. Oh, and this one touched to the upside right there on February 27th. My goodness. So that was this gap right here. So 488 is done to the upside. 488, delete. Look at all these weeks I've tracked this. 488. Just go to another time frame. Oh my gosh, look at this. That opened up on November 12th of 2024. We finally made our money back. For those who never sold. I need to pull this. Let's just go to the 15 so I can see this just a little bit better. So this one touched right here at 505, so that's done. That's done. 497 is the bottom here. Done. Okay, 517. Where is this one? Oh, it's taking us here. Oh. Oh, look at this. That touched right here. It did not go out this far. Wow. I did not clean this one up. If I don't do it right away and I accidentally skip it and then I go and look at different weeks. There, we touched right here. My charting is off because I didn't clean it up as I went to 529, 530, right there. So that's done. That one is no longer in play. Wow. That one's done. That one's done. Okay, see what I mean by if you have these price labels and you see it, then you know something is in play and it needs to be deleted. Otherwise, you're tracking it, and in this case, I needed that to be deleted because I thought it extended, and I just extended it normally because I don't know when it's going to end, and then I need to clean it up. Okay, so this big gap right here is still in play. 517. All right. Oh, what happened here? This one. Okay, is still in play to 479. This is, yeah, still in play. All right, that does it for me. That is a look at your gap and go trades for the week of March 3rd through the 7th. I can't believe this is my 65th week I've been tracking this. So if there is a ticker that you would like me to go over, please let me know, and have a great trading day.